couple of weeks ago, back in February, we went to Denong Tea House because it was this guy's birthday, and we just wanted to have a little fun. So we decided going to this tea house might do the trick. So we actually had a lot of fun there, but we plan on doing like a whole series of tea house visits, if you will. We recorded some footage there for you guys to check out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But basically, the problem that we've had recently is that when you search via Google or whatever search engine you're using, you'll find that if you're living in Southern California at least, not many, if any at all, tea houses kind of pop up. Pretty much it'll all say boba tea.
Yeah, which is really surprising. I mean, not surprising as far as the boba tea, but it's really surprising for LA. Like,
yeah, like there's usually like the niche things kind of like pop up, I guess. But anyway, yeah, we scoured the web everywhere, Reddit and all kinds of like different little tea communities, and honestly didn't find anything. Maybe we didn't search hard enough, but the only way we found Denong Tea House and Silken Jade Tea House are just Instagram when they randomly popped up in our feed. So for all you tea houses out there, now you know how to reach people.
Yeah.
But anyway, Julie, I'll let you take it up from here.
Yeah, so while we were at Denong Tea, we got some raw pu'er tea. This is their 2017 Mountain Oasis, and we actually tried 2 teas while we were there, which was a ripe and then this one, a raw. And kind of the only thing that sold us over the raw was the fact that we don't have a lot of raw. And it was really good, but the ripe pu'er was really good as well, but we are pretty heavily stocked in ripe pu'er right now.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and steep this tea up, talk about the tea a little bit, but mostly talk about the tea house and our experience there. Yeah. So let's get that water boiling and drink some tea.
Okay, let's do it.
Water has officially boiled.
I'm ready.
Alright, we're going to rinse this. This is not our first time tasting this tea, obviously.
No.
It's also not our first time recording this video. This would be take 3.
Yeah.
All separate days, too.
We've used quite a bit of this tea.
I know, we're going to drink the whole damn cake just recording this video.
Yeah.
Just footage problems, losing footage being out of focus.
But anyways, you guys don't need to worry about that.
You don't care. Well, actually, that's why it's late, so maybe you do care. But anyway,
yeah, let's maybe just taste this tea, and then we'll get into
Drinking the wash?
Oh.
You can, go for it. It's not gonna kill you.
It's really dark. Nah.
So, for those of you who care, this is reverse osmosis. We just boiled it.
And we're using a little bit.
It's like 4 or 5 grams of tea to the 100 milliliter water gallon. So, it's a pretty strong steeping, I'd say.
So originally tasting this tea at the tea house, it was a little light, so it might be kind of nice with a little extra leaf.
Okay. So we're not going to talk too much about the tea, although we will a little bit, but we mostly just want to talk about the tea house.
Yeah.
So Denong Tea is like this, from what I understand, a pretty big tea company that started like back in the late 90s. I think it was 96 or something they say on their website. And they've got a few shops opened up in China. It's just all over. I think Hong Kong is their headquarters. But anyway, the tea house in Pasadena just opened up in November, and it's stunning. But we'll get to that. It's stunning. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Denong is more or less strictly a pu'er sourcing.
Yeah, they specialize in pu'er.
Yeah, they sold, I think they have like one black tea, but they actually use pu'er varietal tea leaves. I'm not entirely sure how that all works, but
that's what they said.
Yeah. It's also important to note that this is off of like 300-year-old trees, they say. And they also claim, don't know if this is true or not, I'm not calling them liars, but it just surprises me. But anyway, that all of their teas are in fact at least like old age. They say old arbor. I don't know if that's like 150 or 300 years old. But But if that's true, that's freaking awesome. And that would explain why this tea lasts so incredibly long and is so delicious. Because this tea seriously like gives and gives and gives and gives, and it keeps going.
Yeah, and while being not so like pungent of a tea, and it's just impressive.
Right. Yeah. It maintains a really good. What's the word? Balance.
Yes.
Maintains a really good balance.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
just talking about the tea, I can't remember quite exactly what you said. I think you remember. What conditions was this tea grown in? Because wasn't it like a drought sort of?
Yeah, so apparently Yunnan had a drought back in 2017. Back in the day. Happy 2018, everybody. Yeah, there was a drought in 2017. So that meant that, and this applies to all teas, basically, that are harvested there, that there was a smaller supply, but apparently the drought caused the tea leaves to be a lot sweeter for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. I do want to say that this tea is like incredibly smooth and super delicious, and if you have the opportunity to pick it up, I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap tea, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth the money spent on it.
It's really nice, especially for me. We talk about this a lot, but starting out with raw puer, I was just not really interested in it because of the raw puers that I had were really astringent, but I don't know. This one's like really smooth, and it's like it like my body agrees with it.
Yeah,
So,
it's super smooth. It's really oily. The tea let's just jump into your thoughts on like the tea house, I guess. So, we went there on a Thursday. There was nobody there except obviously Dorothy and Chris.
We think.
I think his name is Chris. I'm sorry, Chris.
Sorry.
But anyway, Dorothy was the one serving us tea, so we kind of got to know her a little bit better. But anyway, we showed up around 5 o'clock, so they close around 6:30. But walking in this tea house is like massive.
I was not expecting that. It was like insane.
In the membrane. We didn't look at any pictures before showing up. I don't know why. We just didn't look. But it's totally worth it, I guess, because it was like this massive surprise. So yeah, when we showed up, you basically enter. There's this little patio area, and there's just a huge glass wall essentially. Looking into the tea house. They had the curtains drawn down because, like I said, it was 5, so the sun was kind of setting. But anyway, so you walk in, and a ton of window light, really beautiful. It's massive. There's the first things you see, I think, are like these massive charcoal, like bamboo pillars.
They're like dangling. It's really interesting, and I think it's really nice. It's just like art.
Yeah, it's super artsy. Well, I wouldn't say it's super artsy. It's like this minimalist kind of
It's like,
vibe.
and it's also like, I don't know. It's like this sort of like museum sort of vibe. It's a bit like you can walk around.
I think that was because it was quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet, but it's also really like open space, and like the ceiling's really tall, and I don't know. And it was very like sleek, like slightly what's the word? Modern, but like it's slightly sterile in a way. But sometimes it's kind of nice, when it's balanced with like contemporary. And,
right. Yeah. It was very like it was. I couldn't ask for a cooler tea house. Personally, my style, the way I like to design things, that is essentially how I would design a tea house. I think if I had the money, which I don't. But anyway. And then on top of like this massive open room, they have 4 tables or so, I think. And they're all really nice, like this rich, like deep, if I remember correctly, there's like a red, like mahogany-like tables, and it was just like this really pretty situation.
Yeah, I really wanted to sit there, but...
Yeah, and they'll have like their little gung fu kind of setups going on them. And then against all the walls, you have all these super, super beautiful cabinets that are, they're also like the same, I think they're like the same color, but it's like this red kind of wood, what I would assume is mahogany, but I honestly don't know. And they've got like silver latches on them, and they're just, and they're glass.
Really nice.
They've got glass windows, of course.
I believe they're like more of like a Chinese antique sort of style.
Totally, definitely, but like super pristine condition.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were antiques, but definitely Chinese.
Yeah, Dorothy was telling us that they had it shipped to this tea house, and they set them up there. So they've got a ton of them, and they're super pretty. And inside them, they have, of course, their teaware and their teas. And it's all super nice.
So nice.
And like not
it was
cluttered.
Really well done.
Yeah.
And it was just like very visually appealing.
So yeah, the vibes were super nice, super awesome. We came in with a camera, of course, and we're recording, and they were super welcome to that.
Yeah.
And you know, they're like, "Oh, come sit and have some tea." And we're like, "No, we want to like look around.
Yeah.
We want to like really like look into this place. It was so pretty. They had a ton of yixing
really
pots.
Had to absorb it all.
Yeah, there was a bunch of like really pretty like glass TeaHives or gongdao bays or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, a lot of teaware that was like really tempting.
Yeah, really nice.
The only teaware we left with,
handcrafted. Oh yeah.
was this bad boy.
Yeah.
Which is a poo pick.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't want to call it that.
No.
A puer pick. And Julie and I have not. This is our first puer pick we've bought, just because we're using a knife, and then.
Yeah, it is reasonably priced, so it was like, what the heck, man?
$4.
Yeah, $4. It's a common price, or at least for what I've seen. But yeah, I mean, puer picks are probably just nice in general if you're using like an alternative, like butter knives. So it's definitely like a step up.
Yeah, I really, like, I refused to go the puer pick route, but eventually we gave in. We've seen them for sale like 4 or 5 different times, and we just refused to buy it.
Yeah, you're also the kind of person like you want multi-use in a tool, not just like a single use.
Well, that one I can stab people with. You can't stab people with a butter knife, so it's like self-defense, but also, you know, have some tea.
Yeah, so when you're serving strangers.
In case they decide to mug you, you got yourself
wow, breaking a cake.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't regret getting that. It's awesome.
Very functional.
Very functional. Quite versatile. So after we checked out everything, we sat down at their little, what would you call it?
Counter.
I guess it's just like that counter, you know, where you have like a typical sesh.
Like a bar area.
One thing we didn't mention in our previous recordings of this is the stools. They were like super tall.
Oh yeah.
And then they had like ones that were super short. Julie couldn't fit on the tall ones, so she sat in the short one. So I was like 2 feet higher than her.
I liked it.
It was funny.
Yeah.
No problems there, but I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, no, it was just funny. But anyway, so that was fun, and then we opened up a menu, chow, like so.
They had a lot of tea.
And there's a ton of tea there, and you know, no like massive variety of like different types of tea, but they had a bunch of different puers.
Yeah, puer.
And I think they have a couple of black teas as well. So anyway.
I think just one, just the varietal that we got a sample.
It may have just been one, but anyway, so we asked Dorothy what her favorite tea was, of course, because that's, I guess, what you're gonna do. And she recommended we try this ginseng ripe puer, and although it wasn't, I want to say spiked. What's the word?
What do you mean, spiked?
It didn't have any ginseng in it.
Oh yeah. Laced. That's what
laced?
Damn,
dude. Anyway, so it wasn't laced with
or spiked.
It wasn't laced with any ginseng. So it was, but anyway, it was delicious, and it was like really good. Sweet and minerally, just like you'd expect from like a puer, really clean and kind of river roxy going on. and I had no problems with it at all.
No, it was really nice.
And then we tried from there Mountain Oasis, and I was like blown away with it. They were using spring water, which is different than what we're using now, and we were getting a lot fruitier notes.
Yeah, it's just slightly sweeter.
And they didn't use Arrowhead water, so remember, kids, if you're using
spring water.
If you're using spring water, don't use Arrowhead spring water. We got a lot of backlash for that one. But anyway, so yeah, we tried both of them, and we're like, you know what? We're totally gonna buy this cake right here. And she's like, all right, that cake is $45. We're like, all right, sure. So we bought it, and then we're like, she's charging us for the tastings as well, the puer pick, and then the cake, and it came out to be like $75 or $80 or something like that, which really surprised us. And this was our biggest problem with the tea house, is that it was just so damn expensive. They and I don't blame them necessarily for having to charge people for tastings. I completely get that, but it is kind of weird that, like, even though we bought a cake, they still charge us for the tastings.
Yeah.
Julie and I came to the conclusion that it was probably just like, I mean, these are just people who are working there. Like, they're not the owners of the store.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like, hey, we're just following orders, like, whatever. It's just kind of like, we're told to charge you for tastings, and we're told to charge you for tea, so no big deal.
Right.
And so it's not a problem against the people working there at all. I do think that it's kind of strange, though, because we're charged $5 for the right puer, which we tasted 4 or 5 times, so we had 4 or 5 steepings out of it, but it was $5 per person, so that was $10 on that, and then $7 for the Mountain Oasis, so $14 on that, so $24, $25 basically, to do a little bit of tastings.
Yeah, it just kind of got to the point where I feel like it was just, we were being overcharged.
Yeah.
For like the exchange of what was given to us, you know, as far as the tasting. But like, as far as the value of the tea that we purchased, like, that was a fair exchange. I feel like it was well priced. It was worth the value of the tea, and no problem. Like, we're gonna buy that, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. It just didn't. It was a little like mind-boggling to wrap my head around it, because I also didn't like realize that we were going to be charged then, and then she said that. You know, like, she broke it down for us. She clearly said, like, what we were being charged for.
Yeah, they weren't, like, being shady or anything about it.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, really? Okay. Like, my mental process, like, okay, fine. Like, I'm not gonna be like, give her a hard time.
Yeah,
about
and we're
it.
not trying to be, like, snobby about it or anything. It's just that we've been to a few other tea houses, like 4 or 5 other tea houses, where they haven't charged us anything for the tastings.
Yeah.
When you actually buy tea, which makes sense to me. Just because, like, oh, it's like a try it before you buy it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just
we're like,
how it goes.
We're sampling their product to then purchase it. And like, this brand really felt more of like a luxury sort of brand, like a luxury sort of tea, where we're going to get high quality stuff. And you know, when you're paying so much for a tea, it just kind of, you know, it's a little bit disappointing to then have to like be paid for such a little bit, for the sample basically. And I don't know if like the fact that the area had to do anything with it, because the area is definitely was a little bit, you know, high
uppity.
Class, uppity. I won't say like high class. But like,
yeah, it was for sure not like upper middle class at least.
Yeah.
In that area, like, it was super clean, and, you know, a bunch of like fancy condos and whatnot. But anyway, so like, I get it. They have this massive building that is super pretty, and they're in a fancier area, and they gotta pay for that. Yeah. And it wasn't packed. Like. Yeah. The problem with the fact that they charged us so much is that it's somewhere that I totally want to go back to, and I just want to be like, yo, let's go down. Like, it's an hour and a half drive, so it's a little bit of a drive, but it's like, I just want to be able to go there and just have some tea and be like, let's try a bunch of different teas and see what we like, and then buy a bunch of that one that we really like. If you do that, you are spending like probably hundreds, let's not say hundreds of dollars, but like at least
Roughly around
150,
100
200
or
bucks.
more, yeah.
If you're just doing tastings, then, you know, if you're going with multiple people, you're going to be spending a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, at least the vibe I got after I paid for it was like, okay, this is somewhere that you go because you've heard about a tea and it sounds good and you want to taste it before you buy it.
Like, you know what you want,
right? You
but
have an idea.
You're not sure.
Yeah, you haven't, like, you're about to spend $150 on a
Yeah.
cake, and you're like, maybe I want to try it first.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe that I got. It's not somewhere that you can go just to try a bunch of different teas.
Or
and
just,
then,
like, hang out, be, like, social, you know, like a tea house, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to, like, discredit, like, it being, like, it's not a tea house. But it kind of, simply with the tasting charges, it kind of makes it into not a tea house because it's not really somewhere where you want to sit down and just, you know, hang out simply. And from our experiences from tea houses, and then one particular in Portland, we had that spot, you know, and I feel like we're maybe trying to find somewhere that we can do that.
Right, do that here. Yeah, it was like a cheaper, like we could do 5 different tastings, and yes, if you didn't pay for the tea, then you're gonna, like if you didn't buy, you know, a bunch of tea, then you're gonna pay for the tastings, which is completely reasonable. I get that. You can't just give out your tea. But anyway, even if you were just paying for 5 different tastings, like it wasn't gonna be $7 per thing or whatever. So
yeah. Also, from you guys, like, I'm not sure if it's just like a Western sort of thing too that charge for tastings.
Right.
But if you guys know, and like maybe your experiences about getting charged for tastings, let us know down in the comments below. Because, I don't know, it's kind of something that bothers me, but I want to know what other people think.
Yeah, for me, I'm flip-flopped on it.
Yeah.
But I would be curious as to, like, what other people think about it. Because I don't, like, for me, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm being a little snobby about it. Like, oh, this guy has to pay for his tea. Yeah, exactly. Give us free tea, what the hell? Because I don't want to be in that area at all. I guess we're just looking for a spot where we can, like, really just hang out and pay for tea, sure, absolutely, but also, like, be able to do it more frequently than just, like, once on a blue moon, kind of like,
not
oh,
just
it's my
try
birthday.
To fit it in our budget, you know, like...
Yeah, it's something that it's like, it's almost like, okay, we're gonna go to Disneyland, like, save up the money, like, a good chunk of money's gonna go away today.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of the cost. I think you guys get the point. It's totally worth it to go and check out for sure. Have some tea,
you know,
at least once, even if it is on just a special occasion. It's just we just want to give you guys a fair warning that it is going to cost you a little bit of money, especially if you're going to take some friends and kind of like all go. And if you're all paying for yourselves, I guess it's not a problem.
Yeah, but if you have like a family of like 3 or 4, you know.
Yeah, it can get kind of pricey there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the tea house is stunning. It is absolutely an excellent place to go get some teaware. Like, seriously, if I'm buying a new Yixing pot or anything like that, that is where I'm going.
Yeah, they had really good stuff there and unique stuff too. Like, they had like artists, you know, that made their stuff and they were just showcasing it there.
Right, yeah. And it did feel like that. It felt like a cool showcase room kind of situation. Yeah. And it seems like somewhere, Dorothy was telling us, like, it's not somewhere that is just constantly flowing with traffic. It's somewhere that, like, sometimes you get a bunch of people showing up at once, and then sometimes you just get, like, a slow trickle. And obviously we were part of that slow trickle. Yeah. So, you know, when you're going, you can probably expect for it to be pretty mellow. So that's kind of nice. Anyway, I think that wraps up the tea house at least.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the tea a little bit more.
You guys are probably wondering.
Yeah, you might be wondering. So I don't know what steeping we're on, but this tea is like not going anywhere. We've had a few sessions with it, and you can get. We'll not do that. You can probably get to at least 12 I think like 12 on like easy mode, like not even caring what you're doing, like we're doing right now, we're kind of like not really paying attention to how we steep it. If you're hyper focused on it, then you might be able to get like 15 or more than that, but this tea seriously just keeps going. And also, not only does it keep going with taste, but the texture like maintains, which is crazy. The oiliness lasts for like 7 steepings.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Again, very...
Yeah, it's still there.
It's very, it's a really easy drinker. And again, I feel
as it should be.
Yeah. When you're paying for good.
Yeah, this is definitely like, this is something... I would probably compare it to like Mayleaf quality teas. I mean, it's also in a similar price range.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's nice to have something that's in the United States that's, that we can just drive to and pick some really good puer up.
This place is definitely a place to get good tea. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed with the quality of their tea.
So if you guys are searching for like really high quality teas, definitely check out Denong Tea House. Probably do some research beforehand to trying to decide on what you're like, you've got your radar out for, and then you can go there, taste it, see if you really like it, and then go ham on it and buy a tong of it this big and just be like, put it on your shoulder and be like, peace, I'm out, and then drop the mic, and then your wife beats you because you ran out of all your monies.
Oh, Taylor.
Sorry, that's what happens in my head. So, cool guys. We're done here. We're going to keep drinking this for days to come. And we're going to keep posting some more videos. We're going to be checking out other tea houses. I know we've got something set up with Silk and Jade, hopefully in the near future within the upcoming couple months. We've also got a cool situation going on with 7 Cups Tea. We're trying to work out like a cool
warehouse tour.
Yeah. They'll have all their spring stuff in, so we're hyper excited about that.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye out for more videos. If you guys have any more cool hole-in-the-wall tea places, this is definitely not a hole-in-the-wall tea place, but anyway, if you guys know of a cool tea place, let us know. We would love to go there, even if it's up north. It doesn't have to be Southern California or whatever. Just let us know so we can go there and hopefully get some cool footage and share it with you guys and give our thoughts on it. So cool, guys.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, go ahead and subscribe. And again, like we said, if you have any recommendations about tea houses, leave it down below in the comments. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.